All right. Okay. Hey guys, Miss Jones here. As you saw, I posted a new lesson on Goal 2 today. So we're starting with Goal 2. The assignment is called Assignment 2.1, and I have a follow-up assignment or activity for you after you complete this video. Okay. So for Goal 2, we're going to be learning about inequalities. So the very first few lessons that we're going to be talking about is translating inequalities. Now we've already done translating algebraic expressions back in Goal 1. So translating written words into mathematical representations is nothing that's new to us, but doing it with inequalities is a little new. Okay. So the first topic that I want to go over is writing inequalities for real world situations. Okay. Writing inequalities for real world situations. Now, if you're going to be writing inequalities, you need to know what an inequality is. So an inequality is something that is unequal. Inequality, it's something that is not equal. So there's different forms of being not equal, okay? There's less than, there's greater than or equal to, or less than or equal to. Those are the four inequality symbols that we're going to be using, okay? So to give you some real world examples, and these are heavily opinion based, obviously. The first example that I gave up top says, the Big Mac is less than the Whopper, okay? The Big Mac is less than the Whopper. So notice the less than symbol. The smallest side is pointing towards the Big Mac because it's not as good, it's less than. And the Whopper has the opening of the inequality. The greater part points towards the greater value, okay? So the Big Mac is less than the Whopper is my first real world example, okay? The next one, Bad Gallery right here. Rihanna is greater than Ariana Grande. My opinion, are they both good artists? Of course they are. But my money always goes to Bad Gallery. So Rihanna is greater than Ariana Grande as an artist, okay? And now we're going to talk about some of the greater thans or equal tos, okay, or less than or equal tos. So this pack of markers here, or these whiteboard markers that I have, let me grab a handful, all right? All of these, if somebody said, how much do these cost? I'm going to say, oh, they were at least 10 bucks, a little more, at least 10 bucks. So I can say that my markers are greater than or equal to $10, okay? The purchase of this item was greater than or equal to $10, okay? That's me saying that I spent at least $10 on these. So the markers are greater than or equal to $10. And again, notice that the greater than symbol is pointing towards, the widest part is pointing towards the markers because it was greater than $10 or equal to. So the difference between a greater than and equal to or less than and equal to, those two symbols, they differ from the other two because they have a line that goes underneath it, okay? It's kind of like somebody took an equal sign and said, we're going to keep the bottom line of the equal sign and then we're just going to throw the inequality up on top. That's pretty much what that is. All right, so I said the markers were at least $10. So to translate that into an algebraic expression, or sorry, an inequality, I said the markers are greater than or equal to $10 in value. Okay. Next up, the next example that I wanted to give for a real world example is my son's height. All right. I said David is less than or equal to 40 inches, meaning I know he's not taller than 40 inches, right? He's not taller than that. He's no taller than this. He's somewhere underneath 40 inches. He's less than 40 inches tall. All right. That's a little less than, little more than a yard, maybe. So David is less than or equal to 40 inches in height, okay? He's not taller than 40 inches. 40 inches is definitely at the most his height, and he's somewhere underneath that. So the less than symbol is pointing towards his name, and 40 inches is on the greater side there, okay? What's great about this is you can pause this and think about it and replay whenever you want at your own pace, okay? All right, so these are the examples that I came up with. Let's do some from Alex now, okay? All right, so the examples that we have here, I hope you can read this. It says, Keisha listens to music for at least 45 minutes a day. At least 45 minutes. In fact, let me just read that one more time. Keisha listens to music for at least 45 minutes a day. So let's think about this. We're definitely going to need to do Keisha on one side. And let's use T to represent minutes. All right, Keisha. And at least 45 minutes. So I know I'm going to need to have the 45 minutes. I'm going to put over here. And I need to figure out what symbol goes in there. All right. So if it's at least 45 minutes, if I do it like this, it looks like at the very most she's listening to 45 minutes. It looks like she listens to less than 45 minutes. But it says she listens to at least 45 minutes. So she's definitely listening to more. So there I go. She listens to at least 45 minutes. And I'm going to add 45 minutes, the greater than or 40 or equal to sign underneath that. Okay. So Keisha listens to more than or equal to 45 minutes of music a day. Okay, so I knew to add that at least or that equal to sign right there because it says at least. So at the very minimum, I need to include that 45. So when you need to include the lesser value or the greater than value, you want to make sure you have the or equal to. Okay, because it might just be 45 minutes. Or it might be more than that. All right, here's the next one down below. All right, so it says, my dad said I can't put the temperature past 60 degrees. And let's go ahead and add Fahrenheit to that. All right, I don't know what temperature your parents keep it in the house, but my dad said the thermostat, we weren't allowed to put it above 60 degrees. We had to wear a sweater. All right, so my dad said I can't put the temperature past 60 degrees. So I'm not allowed to put it higher than that. That's the very highest it could go. All right, so I'm going to use my dad and the 60 degrees here. All right, so we're going to do dad on one side and 60 degrees on the other side, 60 degrees Fahrenheit. And I'm going to play around with this a little bit. It's okay if it's not right the first time because we really should be thinking about this. All of these are very heavy in interpreting math, okay? Interpreting value, interpreting data. Math teaches us to think, okay, guys? So that's really what we're honing in on here. All right, so at least my dad said I can't put the temperature past. So 60 degrees is going to be the greatest that it can go. So I'm going to put the greater side pointed towards that. And there's the temperature on this side. So Dad said it's got to be less than or equal to 60 degrees. All right? That works there. That fits the limits that we were given. So I'm going to actually change the board. So before I do, I just want to run through everything that's on here. If you want to pause it and write any of this down, now's a good time to do so. All right, so we said that running through a review of our inequality symbols, we used less than, all right? The Big Mac is less than the Whopper. Riri is greater than Ariana Grande as an artist, okay? Markers cost at least $10 or more. So markers are greater than or equal to $10. All right. And then I said that David's height is less than or equal to 40 inches. So he's not taller than 40 inches. Okay. Recapping some of the examples that I may have modified a bit, to be honest, from Alex. Keisha listens to music for at least 45 minutes a day. So at the bare minimum, it's 45 minutes. So it's Keisha's music time is greater than or equal to 45 minutes a day. And my dad said I can't put the temperature past 60 degrees Fahrenheit. All right. Dad's temperature is less than or equal to 60 degrees, but it certainly won't be more than that if he has it his way. All right? So I'm going to put up the next board now. Hopefully I can just overlay it. Okay, so I brought over some of our symbols so that we have a little cheat sheet to refer to here. And on this side of the board, you can see that I added some of the words that we need to help us translate into algebraic expressions or inequality expressions here, okay? So this topic is slightly different. It's translating a sentence with an inequality, okay? So the first example we're going to go through says, the sum of 2 and W is greater than 29. The sum of 2 and W is greater than 29. So, first thing I want to do is underline some of our important words that jump out. So, immediately I see the word sum, all right? The sum of 2 and W, so it looks like I'm going to be adding 2 and W right there, all right? That's my guess. I'm just going to go ahead and write that down, that thought. There's the sum of 2 and W is greater than 29. And there's the next part, greater than 29. So there I know to use my greater than symbol and 29. So I know W, it's got to be at least like what, 28? All right, so the sum of 2 and W is greater than 29. We're good there. So sum, notice that sum I have over here in our word bank for addition. 2 and W lets me know I'm finding the sum of those two values, so I add those two values together. And greater than I pulled right from our inequality over here. Okay, greater than. All right, now, second example. 9 subtracted from W is less than or equal to 22. 9 subtracted from W is less than or equal to 22. So again, let's pull out the important language here. So 9, right, so I already got 9 right there, subtracted from W. So this is where you need to watch out, because this is actually W subtracted from 9, okay? What I want is 9 subtracted from W, all right? With subtraction, remember, the order does matter. So be mindful of that, all right? So this is 9 subtracted from W is less than or equal to 22. Less than or equal to. So I know I'm going to have the one with the line underneath it. So less than or equal to 22. There we go. Now there's one down here that's a little lower. Let's see if I can adjust the camera a smidge. All right. So the product of W and 3 is greater than or equal to 23. All right, so the product of W and 3. So I can see product right over here. That falls under multiplication. That's what that translates into. Product is a word that is an indicator of multiplication. So I can write W times 3. I can write 3 times W. I'm going to use good math grammar and phrase it as 3W and write 3 as a coefficient out in front of W. So 3 times W is greater than or equal to 23. Greater than or equal to 23. And that's it. All right, so what I want you guys to do now is create your own and leave it in the comments below, okay? So here's an example of creating your own. It takes my mom at least 45 minutes to get home from work. Okay, it takes my mom at least 45 minutes to get home from work. And if I were to translate that, mom's travel time would be greater than or equal to 45 minutes. Okay? I can say, I could be annoying and do one about my sibling. I can say it takes my brother at least 2 hours to stop snoring at night, because he snores a lot, or he snored a lot growing up. I don't know now. But come up with your own, write it out, and write the inequality that goes along with it, okay? There are inequality symbols in your keyboards. You can do this, all right? If you have any questions, we'll be having a Google Meet. I'll have to post it in your individual classrooms online, all right? But we'll have a Google Meet on Friday. So hopefully I can see you guys then, and you can ask any questions that you may or may not have. Complete the assignment in Alex, all right? So complete assignment 2.1 and leave the comment below. That comment is part of your grade, so make sure you do it. All right. Have a good one, guys. Bye.